Hey, everybody.
I'm Darren.
I'm Mike, and we are
the Froze Bros.
Today, we're going to be talking about Red Baron's French bread pizza, specifically the pepperoni version.
You've got an update from
Yeah.
our last episode.
Yeah, I actually had a really good experience. We talked about the Trader Joe's s'mores, brownies, or whatever they were called, and said they could have been a little bit warmer in the middle. So I put them in the air fryer, 400 for 3 minutes instead of 2. They were really perfect. They were like, the brownie part was just, nice and warm and gooey in the middle. And the best part was the marshmallow was like toasted, like you want a marshmallow right out of the fire.
And thank you, Mike, for saving me one of them.
I ate both of them.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
It was, it was a late night.
I got a little bit of a Trader Joe's update too. I got a newsletter in the mail from Trader Joe's. The first thing I thought is, hey, let's get the Froze Bros into this Trader Joe's newsletter. Like, it's mailed out to everybody.
Yeah.
Let's have them mention us.
Absolutely.
Then I was thinking maybe they listened to an episode, maybe last episode in particular, and want no part of us.
No, we're going to edit out all the bad parts. They're going to be fine.
It's going to be left.
Yeah. Anyway, we have a very exciting guest. Joe's here, going to talk with us about this topic that's near and dear to his heart, except for he wanted Stouffer's.
Yeah, we asked you to be a guest, Joe, and you said there was something in particular that you would have wanted to have with us.
And you threw me a curveball. I think you're trying to keep me on my toes. So I specifically asked for my favorite French bread frozen pizza, Stouffer's. And I have a little story about why I love that so much. But then you said, I'm going to switch it up, throw him a curveball. Let's see how he rolls with the punches.
I ran to the store tonight. This is how we roll. No planning ahead here so far on the Froze Bros. I got a Red Baron French bread pizza.
I mean, there's planning ahead. General plan.
There's some planning ahead, but 2 hours?
2 hours.
So I started loving the Stouffer's French bread pizza after a friend of mine who used to be a piano player in a club I would go to. He was so darn funny, and he was so great, and he gave me sort of this tip. After you've had a little, maybe too much, and you've gone home, the best thing to do, or if you're just really tired, is throw the Stouffer's frozen French bread pizza, the 3-meat version, into the oven. And I've learned that maybe when you come back a little worse for the wear, or if it's the next day, like, there's nothing like it.
You've given me some advice for, what to have after you've been out to it for a night. So do you wash this down with Pedialyte?
You could have Pedialyte. Yeah. Usually it's something like that.
Pedialyte's doing a big push for adults. There's like these commercials where it's like Pedialyte for adults now.
The day after.
Yeah. Yeah, they know the market they're getting into.
But, part of that medicine can be a French bread pizza. Just the carbs, the yeast. So it's my favorite. And I don't know if it's just, necessarily the taste or the association with it, but I just love it so much.
This took about 20 minutes to make. Does the Stouffer's take?
I usually put it in a little longer, but it's roughly around that same time.
You like it crispy?
I like it really crispy. It's not everybody's taste, but I like things like
I'm on more on the soft side.
Yeah,
I like it soft.
I'm a crispy guy.
I would have gone a little crispier than we had it tonight. We're at my place. We cooked it in my oven. It is a gas oven that is a little unpredictable on its heating. So sometimes if I give it an extra minute, it goes from just right to burnt beyond crispy.
I find that when you're coming home, I've had a couple of problems before with bagel bites, similar concept, but just like falling asleep. And now you've got bagel bite charcoalettes in the morning when you wake up.
Oh, and a burnt out house.
Yeah. I mean, it's dangerously close. I did this when I was like first out of college. I had my first roommate and he was very upset with me.
Yeah.
Understand. I'm not saying this was good behavior. This is bad behavior, but I bet there's some of our listeners out there that have done this exact thing.
No doubt. I'm going to save a good Bagel Bites story for a Bagel Bites episode, but shout out to Ted, whose birthday it is today, who knows the Bagel Bites Sorry.
Happy birthday, Ted.
Happy birthday, Ted.
So, and probably a little safety tip. If you think you're a little worse for the wear and you're waiting for those bagels or the pizza and you might fall asleep, just turn the alarm on in the oven.
Wake it smack.
Yeah, so that, it wakes you up.
Mm-hmm.
Even better these days because we have air fryers. Those have timers. Or if it's a toaster oven, they'll just shut off.
Yeah.
So, Joe, we want to know some other things about our listeners are dying to know about Joe. This is your first time on the show. So, give us a little bit about Joe.
I personally love using the freezer and having stuff in the freezer because sometimes
what's in your freezer right now that's exciting?
I don't think there's anything real exciting because I see by the summer it doesn't get so exciting. But I have one thing I like is the Trader Joe's Mexican cauliflower rice. It's good just to have that. It's a little spicy. You can bake up some chicken and throw that in there. That only takes 8 minutes.
So it's not a full meal. It's just the rice.
It's just the cauliflower rice, but you could throw.
That's nice.
Cut up sausage, which I do a lot. You just shred up chicken. You could buy the chicken or you could cook it or you could buy it frozen.
Actually, I'm just going to text my girlfriend.
It's really good. That's I think honestly, Trader Joe's has got some of the best frozen stuff around.
We're getting into recipes that are a little fancier than I'm usually able to handle.
No, it's literally you put it in a pan and you bake the chicken. I mean, it couldn't be easier. There's nothing else to do.
So you buy uncooked meat and you put it in the...
Yeah, like a chicken
But you know what?
and then you bake it for 45 minutes.
Me and my girlfriend, we got from Trader Joe's cooked marinated chicken.
Oh, I might try that for
easy. It was actually pretty good.
I'd just do that for easy.
That'd be my thing.
For super easy. Yeah, frozen.
Oh, that's cool. So you don't have to really... So I think it's good to keep these things in the freezer. I also have this meal delivery service that's local here in the Boston area. And sometimes I don't eat all the meals, but I throw those in the freezer and those heat up really well. So that's what the majority.
So that comes fresh?
It comes fresh. And then what I don't eat that week, I put in the freezer to eat for later.
Which brand is that? Not that.
This is branded content. It's called Nutray. And it's if you want to lose weight or if you're like an athlete. But they're great. They're on the North Shore, Massachusetts. They're great. So I am not sponsored by them in any way. And we're
not getting paid for this.
I just love that service.
We're open to it though.
Yeah. Open to it.
Yeah, let us know. We'd love to
They're great.
Buy your fresh food and then freeze it and then talk about it. If you're doing frozen stuff, hit us up.
It's great fresh, but and they're just a great company. So there's nothing else exactly, but in the winter, it's always nice. You can just throw something in the crock pot if you want to get that deep, or you can just sort of stock up the freezer. So I'm a big fan of freezer. And actually growing up, my background is Italian. We always had stuff in the freezer. Back then, my mother would go like once a month to the butcher's, and then like the butcher paper would come out and they package the meat. Now, this is a long time ago. Nobody does that anymore.
I'm half Italian too. We always had stuff. We always had stuff in the freezer. It was the cookie filling that my grandmother had made 50 years. If you've been through the cookie filling, then maybe
I love that.
Cookie episode. Email us, listeners, and remind me to tell the cookie filling story.
And then, the sauce, that your mother would make.
Or there's sauce in there?
The gravy, the sauce.
We never had sauce in the
Every now and then you'll find a bottle of vodka in my freezer just sitting there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll see pre-mixed Negronis. That will be frozen. That's amazing. And it doesn't really quite freeze.
But we need to do an alcohol.
Let's do an alcohol version. Alcohol won't technically freeze, but you can keep it in the freezer, so that might count for something pre-batch stuff.
Yeah. So you make a Negroni. You make a
batch of Negroni. Bottle. Those little bottles with the little stopper on top. It's like a little plastic stopper. It's like that, but it comes with the metal. You don't know what I'm pointing at, audience, but it's basically a bottle. And then there's a stopper on top so that it doesn't leak. But you could do whatever cocktail you want in it, and then it just stays there and just throw it in the freezer.
That might be the bottle. We're looking at a wine bottle that I got that had some rosé in it.
Yeah,
and I realized that the labels peeled right off, and it's a pretty nice bottle.
It's a nice bottle. But
the ones you'll got some outlines of flowers. They're pink and dark.
It comes,
covering the whole bottle.
You'll see
there's a glass top.
We'll take a picture.
Oh, that's nice. You'll see the bottles I'm talking about, and you'll always see them in Home Goods or something like that. It just comes with a stopper that is metal so that it corks right on it, and it's, So I like,
Well, yeah,
you'll find that on my, you'll
The
often
brownies in
find
the
something
freezer.
like that.
All
in
the
the
You
freezer.
know,
drinks.
that could be your memoir. That's a good Italian.
Pepperoni's in my freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Negroni's the least likely to freeze because it's just all alcohol.
it's 100% alcohol.
Does it
Yeah.
does it get a little slushy?
No, it gets syrupy. It gets thicker,
Negroni syrup
and it's really
Like
amazing.
Negroni.
and vanilla ice cream.
That would be, I like that. I like that. Oh, you will often find ice cream bars, Haagen-Dazs ice cream bars, sometimes Skinny Cows, depending on what I want to do with, where I am in my wanting
Your
to
journey.
lose weight or gain weight, or
I
not,
usually,
whatever.
Whether
I
you're
never want to
bulking or
get
cutting.
bulking or cutting. So,
But there was a big bulking scandal recently. I heard
Really?
like bulking and cutting. Yeah, in the Olympics. The Olympics is going on, and
Way to time us, Mike.
that's why we're doing what we're doing today. French bread
Oh,
pizza.
Listener,
Oh.
if you're not hearing this until
Vive la
October,
France.
know that we are recording it in August.
Vive la France.
No, I'm gonna get this
Paris.
all edited.
Orange.
We're gonna get these episodes out
This
soon.
this French bread pizza episode is in honor of the Paris Olympics.
It
Yes.
is. It is.
Yeah.
If it's later than
We are
that,
sitting here all on one side of the table, just like the Last Supper.
Just like the Last Supper, and I'm in the middle, so that
And
makes
believe me,
the big
Christians,
guy.
we are not mocking you.
That makes
It
me
was-
the big guy. I'm in the middle.
if it doesn't get out before the Olympics are over, you'll know that's my fault. And the editing guy didn't get
That's-
it done.
That
We're
is
gonna
done
work
now.
on
Yes. I usually don't have a lot of desserts in the freezer, but I do have I got a slice of key lime pie. We're going to have to do that sometime. And a bunch of other, might call them desserts. We're going to get to that a little later in the episode though, I think.
Oh, cool.
Indeed.
You'll find chicken pot pies in the winter.
Chicken pot.
Chicken
Nice.
pot pie. You'll find what's the shepherd's pies, pre-made shepherd's pies. Is different places that I like. So things like that.
Darren, you have a good what you've been eating this week frozen update. What do you got?
Yeah. I had a Red Baron. We're having Red Baron French bread pizzas right now. I got a Red Baron pizza earlier this week. It was on sale, and I figured we got to try all of these pizzas at some point. I've had Red Baron before. It's not my favorite. This was, I think, a Supreme. Had a bunch of stuff.
I think Supreme is the best flavor.
I like it too. I know a lot of people like plain.
What makes it supreme? Like the meats?
Oh, there's
It's
Yeah.
usually peppers,
Lots of
onion,
pepper
Oh.
sausage.
pepperoni sausage,
Yeah.
and
All doped up.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a lot of stuff.
I like stuff on my pizza.
I do
will,
too.
I
I
will
don't like
eat
just a
I will
margarita.
eat cheese pizza, but
I like stuff
Um,
on it too.
it was no better than I remembered. Sorry, Red Baron.
I think they're
yeah.
a pretty thin crust, right?
It's yeah. I got to check
Checker
which.
crust.
It
Or
was,
is it not that?
I think it was the classic crust.
Saltine.
Yeah, saltine,
Saltine
with sauce,
It was not a good. The crust
and
was the
bottom
worst.
of the barrel cheese.
The crust
Yeah.
was the worst part of it. We're not
That's a
rating that
problem.
today, though. We'll get to it. Maybe we'll get to another.
Well, maybe
time.
I'd love to hear your thoughts as a comparison to the French bread versus the
Yeah,
Supreme.
we ready to go into this?
Well, I wasn't thinking about the Red Baron. I was thinking about your experience at Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, yeah,
hear about
yeah. Ben and Jerry's, timing this again, this has happened in a few locations across the country. I think they are turning out some oat milk ice cream.
Really? Wow.
Is that what or is it just an oat
Oat
milk
cream,
Milk iced dessert.
iced dessert?
non-dairy frozen dessert.
Yeah. I was out at a movie last night. Out at a movie, a Ben and Jerry's right outside. I know that earlier in the evening there were long lines to get this free oat milk iced dessert. But I walked out of the movie, walked past the Ben and Jerry's. They said to me, "You want to come in and have some," whatever they called it.
They just called to you from the
Yeah.
There
There
hey,
was,
you, sir.
there
Like
was,
the
there,
sirens
there
on the
was
rocks
nobody.
calling
There
to
was
say-
nobody in line. Nobody in line at the time.
They told
Um,
us if we don't get rid of this by the end of the night,
They had,
we're in
you
trouble.
Don't, you don't get to order. There's no standing there waiting. There were two flavors, cookie dough and strawberry cheesecake. I went for the cookie dough. I got a strawberry allergy, not
should've tried
bad.
the strawberry.
It's
right.
usually
sorry.
frozen strawberries are usually okay with me, but I'm just
Oat milk ice cream is usually pretty bad. Am I just getting it from the grocery store? I've never had
kind of like, when you have like soy cheese.
It doesn't get creamy. This was a little bit creamy. It's probably the best oat milk iced dessert I've ever tried. I haven't tried them extensively. It was pretty good though. But it's obviously not ice cream. No. So if you want a good creamy ice cream,
it's like you can't pretend that like soy burgers taste like a real burger because it never does.
If you can have ice cream, you're probably not going to get oat milk.
Yeah. Although I find the yogurts are good. I mean,
God, that sounds even worse.
No, I actually like frozen yogurt.
There's frozen yogurt. Frozen yogurt. Okay.
I'm just talking about just eating yogurt as a
I thought you were talking about like an oat milk yogurt.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know that we have the technology for that yet.
Okay.
There must be some vegan type yogurts.
Yeah, there
must be. Then they must be terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the oat milk ones probably are.
I'm just saying, like,
that's not.
We love our vegan friends.
No, we love the vegan friends, but I'm going to tell you that doesn't sound delicious.
Yeah. So anyway, let's dive in. We're at that point. Bread Baron, French bread, singles, pepperoni, pizzas. The 2-pack.
Yeah, 2-pack, two.
Was it 2 2s?
It was 2 2s. We had 4 halves.
Why is it called 2-pack? That doesn't make any sense. It's singles.
It was 2 boxes. Were there 2 boxes?
Because there are 2 pieces, but you're going to see a picture on this. Look on our Instagram.
He opened 2 boxes.
I did open 2 boxes.
Oh, that's what it was. I thought there was 4 of them.
No.
It's from one loaf.
You can actually
cut it in half. It's 2
look at the size of the box and remember what we just ate.
I mean, you don't have to call me out. You don't have to call me out in front of all of our drink.
And Mike pulls ahead as the dumb one.
No, we've been having a competition. Don't worry.
Yeah, we are. Sometimes I'm in the lead. Sometimes others are in the lead.
So it probably, with the 2 boxes together, we had a whole French bread.
We had a whole loaf.
We got 4 pieces. We each ate. No, we didn't eat each.
Bonjour.
Mike and I will know out of that. We ate 1.5 each, and Joe had 1.
Darren, can we get a bonjour out of you?
Bonjour. Bonjour.
Very good.
There's a Beauty and the Beast joke to be made there too.
That's where I was going.
The bread, the baguettes.
Marie, the
baguettes.
The baguettes.
There we go.
The French bread. Wow. Pizza baguettes.
It's like I'm at Deadpool all over. So funny and referential.
Just like it.
Like always.
Joe has a great voice, by the way. I've heard him sing before. Maybe that'll be a special one of these days. But yeah, popped them in the oven. We did only the oven this time.
Yeah.
We have done multiple directions before. Actually, I don't think that's
modalities.
Well, you just gave an update where you did the same thing a couple of different times and temperatures.
Sometimes we'll do it multiple ways, sometimes we won't. But in this case, everybody knows that the microwave version's gonna be ass, right?
Yeah, there are microwave directions for this here thing.
I think microwave pizza's not great.
Yeah.
Even if I go out for pizza I never
you don't microwave it? Yeah.
No,
you gotta oven it.
I oven it. I always oven it, and I just throw
foil
on the racks, and I throw it right onto the tin for 20 minutes later.
So you and I had pizza out last week.
Yeah.
In Cambridge. It was great pizza. I did bring it to work for lunch the next day. I put it in the microwave.
They only have
it was crappy.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, it is. And actually, I went for pizza with another friend the next day, too. And she gave me I took the leftovers with her, and I put that in the thing. That was from a local restaurant where I live. Wood grill that they use. So it was good, but you can't really microwave it unless you're just so hungry it doesn't matter to you.
Yeah.
If you really want it to taste good.
Actually,
a couple of methods. You can put it on a frying pan with a little bit of water and a cover at the point. That's a pain in the neck. Just throw it in the oven.
I've never seen that.
Just throw it in the oven or a toaster oven.
Air fryer.
Air fryer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the air fryer. I don't have one.
If I'm going to microwave it, the only secret is don't heat it up too much. Do like 15 seconds so it's warm,
Yeah.
but don't get it hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just eat it cold.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not a cold guy. I can't.
Sometimes
I
I'm
can-
cold, guys. Yeah.
It's got to be a
That could be the next day after a real fun night.
No, never say. That's all makes you hate.
I know.
It's got to be
Yeah.
It's got to be a good
That
thick
comes along.
layer of cold cheese.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. That's really good for more Sicilian style. Cold.
I'm even more off board with that. Get out of here, Joe. Get out of
This,
here.
this-
You're
this
not
red
invited
berry-
back, Joe.
Oh, come on. You're killing me.
The directions on this Red Baron actually are not just microwave. It's one of these hybrid microwave then oven,
Which is that could be
which is
doable.
just as
But
much
basically a
work
defrost.
That's a
as
pain in
putting
the
it in the oven.
That's just a pain in the neck.
Yeah.
Now we're
it
adding
cuts the time in
complexity.
half, I guess, if you...
You can heat up the oven while you're doing the microwave. So yeah, it's like
No,
you're
if I'm
doing
going to do all
parallel
that,
paths.
if I'm going to do all that, I'm just going to Uber eat some pizza.
Not all of
At
our
some
listeners
point.
are going to be in the city. You
All
can't get a
right.
pizza in
All right.
10 minutes.
I
I mean, I don't know what the quickest would be, but you can get a pizza really quick.
Well, in the Boston area, you can throw a rock and hit 4 Italians. So you're going to get a piece of pizza or a Greek, pizza.
We may have listeners where there are not even good pizzas.
No, it's
That's
probably
true.
all that. What's that, Domino's?
Sorry. I like Domino's.
I can't stand it. That's the original saltine crust to me.
That-
Yeah, I don't like the thin crust. People go
Oh.
crazy for that Domino's thin
I
crust.
can't stand Domino's.
I'll get a Domino's once in a while, but it is not...
I've only had it
You
once.
can't...
and I
You
thought it was
cannot...
good.
You just got to be craving Domino's, not good pizza.
Yeah,
It's
Right.
not-
Maybe
it's not
that's
good
why I
pizza.
love
Exactly.
Stouffer. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
that's why.
Thanks
not-
for bringing it back around.
Yeah, maybe that's why
Appreciate
I love
that
Stouffers.
segue.
And the memories and the feeling I get and the fun I have, but like that just sort of familiar
Or you
test.
dated a French bread pizza.
Exactly. We're not talking about my fetishes. So
You dated a Frenchman.
I
and
did a Frenchman, and
this is what they make.
He
This
had
is authentic.
great
right?
baguettes.
This reminds you of that.
Yeah.
Do they even have this in France?
I can't.
And
So
if anybody know?
France is about to come over here and like strangle us.
I don't even know if they have this style of bread. Like, I
I
don't think this
can't-
style of bread is good enough for
I
French.
can't imagine that they would adulterate their French bread because
No.
they love it so much this way.
But even
I
what,
do love French
what
bread.
we in the U.S. call French bread, like this style of loaf,
It's
which is
not
kind of like a
real.
softer
Yeah, the
loaf that's like
inside.
in a baguette
But
style
there is like
or like a
smaller-
baguette
yeah.
shape. I don't know if that's like an actual French thing. My guess would be not.
Probably.
I just picture the French thinking, we love the Italians so much that we are going to make a pizza out of the French bread.
Yes, that sounds- that sounds like they notoriously love the Italians. But to bring us back to our topic, Red Baron's singles pepperoni pizzas.
Okay.
Cooked them in the oven. What was it? 375.
375, about 20 minutes. I let them go a little longer. I got a gas oven. It's bad on holding its temperature. So it went a little longer. We got a serving size here of 2 servings, 2 pieces. That wasn't a meal. I mean, it's
That's not a meal.
No,
I
it's
mean,
like
none
an
of these are meals for a
Yeah. No.
So just looking at these, I mean, you'll see the pictures on the website, on our Insta. Darren's going to look up our website so we can, our email, so you guys can,
We don't even know this yet, guys.
we're working on it. We're working.
All right.
But, yeah, they look really good. They look picturesque. I would say it's pretty close to looking like the box, except for the cheese maybe isn't quite as nice. But at a first bite,
not as the picture is close, but the cheese is quite something in the picture.
yeah, it's a little, it's covering it, but on the edges, it's a little bit sparse in
And
the
it looks
real thing.
fluffy.
Yeah, it looks fluffy. I find that the first bite, you're like, this has a nice, pleasant crispness. It's like
Yeah.
a crunchy bread, but it's not like overly crunchy. It's like, it's got that right crunch.
It was a pretty good crisp on there. It was pretty nicely browned underneath.
Edges are nice. I think the crusts around the edges. In the middle, to me, it got a little gluey.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it was okay for me.
Yeah.
But, I just love that Stouffer's. I love that you threw me a curveball because I was really coming expecting to sort of really hadn't had the Stouffer's for a bit. that. And then this was a really great comparison. I think I just love the Stouffer's so much, and that was in my mind, and that is just what I am so familiar with, that this paled in comparison a bit. I don't think this is terrible. And I ate it all, so there you go. And if it was the only thing that was in my freezer, no, I didn't have seconds, but I knew what was coming later.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, for me, it was just okay. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the Stouffer's better, but I thought edges were nice and crispy. The inside got a little gluey. I liked the tomato sauce better in the Stouffer's. It was a little spicier, but it was just okay for me.
Yeah. All right. It sounds like we need to try some Stouffer's at some point, Mike. But,
absolutely.
You got some thoughts on this too?
Yeah. One thing that I actually thought the pepperoni was pretty good quality. They're a little bit thicker. Yeah. They're cut into quarters.
Yeah.
And that gives it a lot of edges. So the edges that were sticking up got a little extra crispy, which again, gave it a nice texture.
I had to spread that pepperoni around myself, actually. When I put this in the oven, these come individually in a bag.
I didn't know you did that because it was nicely distributed.
Yeah, they were all just in the bottom of the bag. These things get soft on them.
Yeah.
In fact, Screaming Sicilian takes advantage of that with their marketing.
Yeah,
where they have them now. They have a cutout a film so you can see inside, and they keep it at the bottom. So all of the toppings come down, and it looks like it's kind of barfing up all of the toppings. It's good.
Yeah, we got to do that one at some point.
It's a favorite. Darren and I have talked about this.
Maybe we get the Screaming Sicilian.
I've never had that.
Oh, it's
you got to bring me back.
Yeah. Well, we've got a lot of things.
I am a Screaming Sicilian.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough of it all.
This is episode 3, so hopefully we have a lot of stuff still to do.
Awesome.
We don't want to shut this down until at least episode 12.
Okay. 12 season.
Darren, any final thoughts from you?
It was better than I expected, actually. I have not had any sort of French bread pizza in a very long time. Wasn't expecting much, especially after having a Red Baron pizza not long ago
and not liking it,
not liking the crust. This was, like we've said, pretty good and crispy. The pepperoni was good. The cheese was good. A nice bite. Little bit of spiciness on the sauce. I have nothing else to compare it to in this type of pizza. Yeah. I kind of liked it.
Yeah. And I think especially if you know the next day you're going to be hungover when you get home, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This will be just fine. But
it says on the package 100% real cheese. Are some of these not?
I'm sure some.
I didn't really go that far into the Stouffer's.
Okay.
It may not be.
Maybe the fake cheese is what makes it even tastier.
Maybe that's what I love about
it. So, all right. Maybe Elio's probably doesn't say real cheese.
Yeah, I don't expect Elio's is.
I like Elio's, actually. So I think Elio's is a good baseline, at least for me. To me, this was like Elio's, but with bread. Actually, I think the sauce, bread. I would like to try them back to back. I think the sauce kind of is similar. Obviously, the toppings are better, and the thing is, the bread is a lot better. So that also pushes it over.
I did like the crust for the most part. Yeah.
My compliments to the chef on this one.
Right, so now we're ready to rate this. Darren, can you go for our rating scheme?
We've got sort of a 1 to 5 rating system, but we don't use numbers. So if you think something is the best, it is an ice cold winner. All right, that's the top. Chilled out is the next one. Lukewarm, just sort of right in the middle. Warmed over is getting down there, and hot mess is our lowest rating. Think of that as a 1 out of 5. No 0 available. So you got to give one of these. Should we let our guests go first, Mike?
We should let our guests go first.
It was not a hot mess. I'll give it that. And I would say it was probably somewhere in the middle, little lower. I would get closer to lukewarm, just over warmed over. So that's a little bit of a non-committal answer, but
no, that's good. You can go in between.
So somewhere around little under lukewarm.
I was thinking
I wouldn't turn it away if somebody made this for me.
Wouldn't kick this pizza out of bed?
I wouldn't kick this pizza out of bed.
Okay. All right. I liked it a little more than that, actually. I'll go middling too, but put it between lukewarm and chilled out.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
I think that's just sort of comes from the fact that it was so much. I expected it to be bad, and it wasn't. So that's where I'm going at with this. It was pretty good. I would do it again.
Awesome. I would eat these again for sure. I mean, I have to think about what we've rated so far. I mean, I love the s'mores. That is a 5 out of 5. That's my gold standard right now. The White Castle burgers, also liked. I believe I gave those a warmed over. We'll have to check back on that. Listeners, let us know. I think, wow, putting it in that context, it actually makes it a little bit hard for me because is this worse than a White Castle burger? My inkling, my feeling is to give this the lukewarm.
Okay. All right.
And that means that it's worse than a White Castle burger. I like the White Castle burgers, but I would eat this any time of day. Maybe I'll give this. I hate giving a 3.5 because I feel like that is the true cop out. That's like right in between the lukewarm and the warmed over.
That's what I did though.
It's a cop out. But sometimes.
But I did a low end cop out.
Yeah.
He just called us both cop outs.
Kind
to our face.
So I forget who originally said this, but if to get a more true ranking, they'll say, no half scores. Give anything. If it's like 1 out of 10, you can give anything except for a 7 because people want to give a 7. Like it's biased towards 7 because people don't want to be too mean. And if they're not that effusive of it, that they're going to give it an 8 or a 9 or a 10. Yeah. You just like you bunch up towards 7. And that's exactly like what that round is.
That's the median.
But I have to say, it's closer to a White Castle burger than I don't know. It's the going with the middle is too low for me. I'm going to give it the in between, the 3.5. We don't have a word for it.
No, we can't have 10 words. That'd be.
We can have 10 words.
We're not that creative.
I mean, we're not a dictionary.
All right, so that's.
I liked this more than the White Castle burger.
So you did lukewarm? Is that where you would end up?
I'm just over lukewarm.
Just a little over. Okay,
lukewarm and a half.
All right, and I was
but
just
that's where I was too. Actually, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm really excited that I have introduced or reintroduced to you the amazingness of French bread pizza, and I don't think you honestly can't go wrong with either of them. It's just I think it's going to come down to what you like and how you like it. I just have a preference, but this was not. I didn't mind it at all.
Just don't put it in the microwave.
Didn't mind it.
Do not
put that on the box.
I don't mean.
Joe says I don't mind.
I didn't mind that.
Critics say we don't mind. So I would say, I think you're right. Never microwave. I think frozen food microwave, unless it's just a quick heat up or a soup or anything, really water based is okay. This is not going to be great if you microwave it.
No, I don't think it would be either.
I mean, it's going to be mushy bread.
All right. Anyway, that's our thoughts on Red Baron singles, pepperoni pizzas. We're going to have a segment coming up right after this break. And we're back. So now we're ready for our segment. Our segment is called Froze Before Hos.
Froze Before Hos.
So in this segment, we're going to start off with Ho Hos. So the idea is this better frozen or not? Is this better?
You just told me we're not going to go better.
Yeah. Is this good frozen?
Is it good frozen?
So we have frozen these Ho Hos before we're going to eat them. Therefore, froze before Hos.
Froze Before Hos.
So we're each going to get one of these.
Grab a Ho Ho.
Crinkling. We'll try to edit that out as best we can. For those that don't know, Ho Ho is a little chocolate cake snack. Being a Hostess is chocolate covered. It's got cream filling.
A rich cream filling.
It's rich and
moist chocolate cake.
I'm trying it.
I'm the only one who is trying to do this away from the microphone and probably making the most noise.
And taking along. It's actually, it's good. I don't know if it's, not that I'm saying whether it's better or not. I just don't know if it makes that much of a difference between having it normal. Joe, you don't need to eat the whole, you're not held to this.
I love sweets.
I haven't had one of these in decades. It is It's not too changed, though, probably, in my opinion.
Not. It doesn't taste all that different.
It's not stiff.
Yeah, it's not stiff. It hasn't gotten hard.
Yeah, the cream hasn't gotten hard.
Yeah, you can bite through it easily. It's just like a little more toothsome. And it is.
Yeah, it's got different texture a little bit.
It's cold. Maybe it's nice on a hot day, but I would say I'm probably never going out of my way to do this again. So our ranking, not a ranking scale. This isn't a rank. It's just, would you do this or not? It's let it go for letting it go, or
keep it, bro.
Keep it, bro. So I think this is let it go.
I'm gonna let it go. I don't think there's any difference. I just keep it in my pantry and that's that.
I'm a keep it, bro, on this. If I'm gonna have ho-hos,
you would rather have it
this is the way I want them.
Because of the short shelf life. You gotta preserve them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stick them in the freezer immediately.
To preserve them. But it's not, it doesn't change them. I don't think you're gonna lose either way. And it's just a preference.
Yeah. I mean, some things are better cold, sometimes it's clear. I don't think it's a clear winner.
No.
But I could see Darren's point. I don't think it's bad at all.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Darren necessarily. I wouldn't go out of my way to put it in the freezer. But I think in the summer, if you wanted a little cold.
Or if you just want to keep it out of your sight.
Yeah.
Next up, so now we're breaking the host theme. Now froze before host doesn't really make any sense, but it's already the name.
Yeah, we're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep trying stuff frozen that's not made to be frozen and freeze it. This will come up once in a while.
Yeah. So now we have some Nutter Butters.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know, it's like an Oreo, but with a peanut butter filling inside.
How come they're not like...
And the cookies, I'm not sure if the cookies have flavor or not, Darren. I don't know if you're...
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, this is a hard crunch.
Wow. Much crunchier than I thought it was.
This needs to come away from the microphone, listeners.
Sorry for our listeners with misophonia. That's where you just don't like to hear these kinds of sounds. Yeah.
Was it misophonia?
I think it's misophonia.
Misophonia. I love that.
So I bought just a small package of these. And they're round. They're not in the...
Yeah, peanut shape.
They're not the peanut shape.
Oh, yeah.
Of the normal Nutter Butter.
These are one of my favorite cookies.
Mine too.
Absolutely, bar none. They're one of my favorites. Top 3. I actually like it frozen.
This is really good.
I would definitely do this. I would say keep it, bro. I like it.
Also keep it, bro, over here. It's like got a surprising crunch to it.
I like it.
But it's not too crunchy. It's like, yeah.
Cream in the middle.
It's not like you're eating a block of ice.
I like it. I like them both ways. So I'd keep this. I guess that's a keep it, bro, right? If I would do this again.
It's a soft keep it.
Yeah. Yeah.
A gentle keep. That was pretty good.
I don't know if I like it more.
I don't know that I like it more.
Yeah, but I do like it.
This would be great in like July, August, like right now.
In the, what is it, the doldrums of summer?
Yes, the dog days of
day.
summer. We're pretty good though.
We are the dogs of summer.
Way to go.
Way to go.
Nut man. Nutter Butter.
I don't know. Is there a mascot for Nutter Butters?
Yeah, he was a little peanut man. Right?
I mean, he wasn't.
Is there, or are you thinking Mr. Salty from the...
I was thinking Mr. Peanut.
Yeah, Mr. Peanut.
Yeah. Well, way to go, Mr. Peanut Man.
Good job, Mr. Not peanut related.
All right, so we got Oreos up next.
Oreos. Classic Oreo. Nothing special. Let's see what it's like. One of my favorites. So
this is good.
I get Oreos regularly. I have a high bar.
I'm going to tell you, of these 3, these are the best frozen.
What? I mean, it's pretty good.
Of the 3 we have here so far.
It's pretty
good.
This
is quite good.
I don't know. I think the Nutter Butters are a little better. I think it's because of that savoriness.
Yeah.
It worked a little bit better for me. It almost makes it a little too sweet. Although the texture is good, but I feel like it makes it feel sweeter than
I have a horrible
when it's at room temperature.
I have a horrible sweet tooth.
All right, I'm going to admit that it's been a very long time since I've had an Oreo too. This is too sweet for me. So if you're saying this is sweeter than Oreos normally are, I don't like it. I'm going to finish it.
So, does it have nothing to do with the frozen, or do you think it's just the Oreo?
You might just not like Oreo.
It's the sweetness. It's too much.
But
it's not the chocolate, it's the center.
Yeah, the center, like, it's noticeable. Right?
That's just all sugar.
Yeah. And it feels like it.
So, I would recommend you never going with Oreo double stuffed.
Yeah, I'm a like regular Oreo extremist.
Yeah.
Except for I actually like the thins. Do you ever do the thins, Joe?
Yeah, I like the thins
Those are
too.
really good. But it keeps the same ratio. That's the thing.
It's all about ratio to cookie to cream.
Exactly. As I don't think I've even had a double stuff, but I will never try.
It's too much.
We tried the Cakesters.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed to admit I haven't. How about
I'm
you?
glad to hear that.
I have had them a couple of times.
Yeah, they're also.
I
good.
actually like
It's
them.
kind of like a devil dog, but probably.
Yeah,
better.
I like devil dogs.
Yeah,
we always had devil dogs in the house.
So that was your like snack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually liked. My mother loved devil dogs, and she had them in the house growing up all the time.
Oh, did we get an official rating?
I give it a let it go.
I'm giving it a let it go.
I actually like to keep it bro, but I have a horrible sweet tooth.
All right.
We got one more.
Last one. We got peanut butter M&Ms.
Not peanut M&Ms, but peanut butter M&Ms.
Peanut butter. Oh, yeah.
These are bad.
I think this goes along with the Nutter Butters.
Yeah.
Where having that frozen peanut butter in the middle is a treat.
I feel like I've just discovered frozen peanut butter.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing.
I was going to say the same thing. I've never thought about freezing peanut butter or including it, but if this is what it's like, it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
What about like peanut butter ice cream or anything like that?
I love peanut butter.
Like that's your jam?
I love peanut butter ice cream, chocolate peanut butter ice cream.
Yeah, chocolate.
This is pretty good, actually.
These are good.
The first bite, I wasn't sure. I think it just bit it wrong. But then when I had two more, the frozen peanut M&Ms, I like.
Yeah.
I think all three of us are unanimous.
And the candy shell gives it a nice crunch too.
Mm-hmm.
The chocolate's not too hard to get
cold.
through. The peanut butter's not too hard to get through.
This is probably the best frozen of them all, I think.
I agree. I think this is
The M&Ms.
made to be frozen. Maybe they made this to be like a Ben and Jerry's mix-in. They're just like, hey,
it's
Ben and
kinda
Jerry's,
that,
like come
isn't
over
it?
here.
That's a really good point. It kind of is like that.
I like it too. I like it. Let's score this, and then I wonder which of these four you guys like. You pretty much said it already. You both said it already.
We'll put it on
But
order, though.
this is a keep it bro hardcore for me.
Yeah.
Might do this on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It's a keep it bro for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have any of this stuff on a regular basis, honestly.
No, I can't because I'll, get into some.
If I
Medical
were to,
danger.
though, it is the Nutter Butters, and I'm going to have one more.
Oh, that's good.
That's the best. And of all this stuff, it's the one I've had most recently, like maybe 2 years ago.
So you've had these frozen before?
No,
Oh,
I've never had them frozen. I will get a cookie like
You're not a
that
big
often.
sweets guy.
No.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
probably smart.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to take these ho-hos off Darren's hands and then also bring them back down to room temperature
Yeah.
and put it in my cabinet.
I think it'd be better I think they're better room temperature.
And then you can hear us talk about defrosted.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're just going
before
to
froze.
we're going to keep freezing and then unfreezing and then freezing.
Let's do that with me.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you. Joe's trying to end the podcast.
And our
He's
lives.
over it.
In our lives. So I love peanut butter. I would say this was probably the M&Ms for me were just a top-notch frozen.
The
Really were.
peanut butter M&Ms were a really nice frozen treat. I'm sticking with that as well.
I do agree that these are just the Oreos are a bit sweet. I don't mind sweet. I think the chocolate piece to that was pretty good. The cream then gets a little sweet.
Mm.
I would probably go with if I had to pick one, I just love Nutter Butters and I love peanut butter. So this is probably what I would do a little bit more. The Oreos would be 3 and the Hos are just not worth freezing. I think they're much better not frozen.
It just doesn't work.
I think Hos are
Or
fine.
it doesn't improve.
It doesn't improve it. Doesn't add anything to it.
Yeah. I guess if I'm doing a full rank, I'm probably doing peanut butter M&Ms, Nutter Butters. Actually, I'd probably go Ho-Hos because I think the Oreos are I love Oreos and I think they're slightly worse than regular Oreos. I just would never do it.
Oh, there you go. All right.
9 to 4 rank is Nutter Butters, Ho Hos, M&Ms, Oreos.
M&Ms with 3.
Yeah,
Darn.
I like the Ho Ho.
You like that? Oh.
Yeah,
You did.
I did.
Wow.
They're close.
Throw one in the freezer for you.
Well, wake me up before you.
Oh.
So All right.
I'm going sober.
And with that, I want to thank Joe for joining us.
This was great, guys. I had a
Thank you,
blast.
Joe.
I had an absolute blast.
Yeah, we really appreciate you doing this. And we're going to do it again. We're going to have you back
All
as soon
right.
as we can.
Find us online at thefrozebros.com. Email us at frozebrospod@gmail.com. Look on the website. You'll find our Insta.
So thanks, everybody. Keep it chilly. Hey, Mike here. I just wanted to say thank you to Substrates for our music. You can find them at substrates.bandcamp.com.